Hi everyone, Jennifer Blevin-Smith with Integral Clinic Solutions, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Navigating the Business of Medicine. Today I want to talk about the cost of hiring inexperience. You're probably going, wait, the cost as in high, hiring inexperience, but usually people who are inexperienced don't get paid as much. And you're right, but I'm going to tell you what it costs you to hire the inexperience. Literally, it can take more money out of your pocket. A lot of green business owners, not just in healthcare, think that they can kind of help save some on some overheads and costs if they hire people who maybe aren't super experienced in their field or specialty because they won't have to pay them as much. Because, of course, people who have experience often do cost more, but you get what you pay for. And that has been a lesson in my life personally that I've struggled with. I'm not going to lie, I'm very frugal, and I'm always looking for a discount or a deal because that's just how I am. And unfortunately, I have learned the hard way that it's appropriate to do that in some terms and ways and in situations, and in others it isn't. And I can tell you that when you're hiring staff for your practice, it is not worth cutting corners or trying to save by hiring inexperienced staff. I have seen this way too many times, and it is very rare, although it can happen, to find someone who learns very quickly, that has no experience, that does a great job and excels in your facility and in their role. But that relies on a lot of factors: the personality of the person you hire, their work ethic, their ability to understand and learn quickly, the method in which they learn, having good instructors, teachers, resources at their fingertips, and everything has to come together for it to work out. Again, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very difficult. And it's very likely that your inexperience is going to end up coming around and costing you more in the long run. That's either because they're not going to work out and you're going to have to hire somebody else either to complement their work because they can't get it done and you need to get it done, but you don't want to get rid of them. So then you're having two people do the job that possibly one experienced person could do, or you're having to fire that person and find somebody else. Either way, it's costing more money. We all know that turnover is expensive when it comes to the time of training and just all of the fees and all of the reality of HR costs for, interviewing people, training people, the cost of having employees with all of the taxes and benefits and stuff like that. And it's just better to put the time and effort up front, the money up front, to find somebody well qualified. Now, this doesn't mean that you couldn't hire someone who's inexperienced to work with somebody who is experienced so that they can learn. I have definitely done that. I've had a very strong person at the front desk, very capable. I've spoken to them ahead of time, said, look, we need to hire another person to work with you. Are you open to training and teaching someone who has no experience? Because I honestly wouldn't have the time to be able to do it. And I would talk to them. And if they're like, I'm really not comfortable doing that, or I don't feel I'm a good teacher, you need to work with them on that. But if you know their personality, you've seen them teach other people, then great. I think that's a great opportunity for you to teach someone and help somebody learn new skills. That might work out great, and often it does for me. But if you learn that the person that's existing in your practice is maybe not the best teacher, doesn't have the best patience, like not patience like your people you see, but patience, IENCE patience, then maybe it's not a good opportunity. You have to read the situation and the people involved. But the cost of hiring someone inexperienced without anybody else experienced in the practice, especially at their role, is detrimental. There's going to be so many errors made that nobody's going to catch, and they're going to keep doing it over and over because they're not going to know it's incorrect, right? And we know the revenue cycle starts at the front desk, getting accurate registration information, insurance information. This is where it's really big, right? Like knowing the insurances, the difference between insurances, the nuances of the insurances plays a huge role in accurate registration of patients. And if you are having someone up front registering people under the wrong payer ID, the wrong insurance, entering the wrong information, not asking the right questions, not understanding what in network and out of network is, not being able to have financial conversations with people, not comfortable with asking for money. This is all very concerning, and it will turn around and bite you, and you will end up financially paying for it because it's going to delay submission of clean claims, or it's going to delay submission of just getting payment, like, making sure that things are going out clean or being corrected and coming back. And if they're not knowing and you don't have the time to teach them or explain to them or understand what's going on, it's just going to keep happening, and it could be way more efficient. Efficiency is going to improve and help your finances, but you're not doing the person any justice because they're not knowing they're doing things wrong. You're going to be having issues in your practice with money. You're going to get frustrated. Patients are going to get upset if they're getting inaccurate bills or they're getting bills way after their date of service because there were messes with the claims, and it wasn't until 3, 4, 5 months after they were seen that they receive a bill because of it. It can be really, really bad. And not having a manager is even worse. In my opinion, especially small practices, you need a manager who is well versed in all different aspects of the practice. Even if they've never worked directly in the different departments, they understand it. They have a good, strong base knowledge to be able to make sure when things are going wrong, how to fix it, how to identify things that are incorrect, how to communicate with everybody, and just kind of your checks and balances, because your focus as a provider should be taking care of patients, patient safety, patient well-being. And if you're distracted with all of these other things that you should be hiring a manager to help you do, that's not fair to anybody. Inexperience costs a lot of money, and it may not be evident up front because you're going to be seeing that you're saving money, but it's, I promise you, going to come around and it's going to bite you, and you're going to end up putting out more money, or it's going to cost you more because you're not getting the money in as quickly as you should due to their inefficiencies, their inabilities, and their lack of knowledge. And it's no fault of their own, right? It's just something that they need to learn, but somebody has to teach them. Somebody has to be there to fix things when they're broken so that they don't go out incorrect, that they do get fixed quickly and fixed correctly and not just a guessing game. That's another thing that happens. They don't know, they think they know, and it just is like this revolving bad cycle of things. And it's just not good for anybody. I was working with a practice not too long ago, and the front office staff, they're wonderful people. I really enjoy working with them. They are willing to learn. They are good at being motivated. I mean, they have all of those aspects, but they have no knowledge in healthcare or insurances. They didn't even know what TRICARE was. And they're in Texas. And Texas is very complicated in TRICARE because depending on where you're located in Texas depends on which TRICARE you bill, whether it's TRICARE East or TRICARE West. And they had no idea. They didn't even know what TRICARE was, let alone who to bill. And that is very concerning when they have nobody else in the practice to assist them except for the provider, who's not around a lot because they're busy seeing patients, as they should be, and the support that they have isn't there. And if they don't know how to look something up because they don't know they need to, then they're never going to know. And it's just, that's what prompted me to do this video, is awareness that you need to put the money up front to hire experienced staff. Even if it's one manager, one front office person, and they come together and do the billing together for you or something like that and wear multiple hats, they still need experience. Because they might not have necessarily experience in billing, but maybe they understand the insurances, they understand coding, they understand the clinical operations, and they are able to figure out with that knowledge how to do the billing. It's not ideal, but it's possible, right? But hiring someone just green that has no experience in front office, billing, coding, insurances, managing an office, they shouldn't be hired for those roles because it's going to come around and bite you. If you have any questions or comments about that, please leave them in the comments below. If you have had this happen to you where you have hired people who are inexperienced thinking you're doing something beneficial for the practice and it ended up not working out, I would love to hear from you. So please leave that in the comments below as well. Smash the thumbs up button if today's video was helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please share this with your colleagues whom you feel would benefit. I appreciate the support, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.